Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Sauntering, Major D staying flabbergasted. I asked about the size of an infant's casket.
Hello!
And welcome to another. Yo!
Hello.
Welcome to another episode.
What's happening?
We good?
Get it together, Brucey.
Dom?
Go, Brucey.
All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. This is a wrestling show made by wrestling fans for wrestling fans, and we are the voices of the squared circle. And joining me, as always, is none other than the First Lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, Miss Latina Heat herself, Grandma Wendy.
Viva la raza! If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita, we got that passion.
Yes. And also joining me, because if he wasn't here, the show wouldn't get produced.
I'm the whole fucking show.
Put a pin in that. We'll circle back. Hold on. Now I got to get back on track, and it's your fault.
The soundboard god.
Yes. God. The soundboard extraordinaire. The jack of all trades. The master of none. Dom.
Damn it, I keep hitting the wrong one. Or am I?
Ooh.
There it is.
Goddamn right. Once again, y'all, welcome back. I am the American Nightmare of Podcasting, the one, the only, D.O.M. And I love that goddamn song.
And the guy that brought you in, me. Yes, me. I am the pinnacle of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. I am the MJF mark. I am the high class one. Dom.
Bruce.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do.
See?
My delivery's here.
Holy
food.
Shit. Damn. What a fucking week we've had in wrestling.
Seriously.
Dear God. From All Out to Mick Foley, we're going to hit everything. And we've even got a little bit of
everything.
Everything. Even got a little bit of Raw and SmackDown to talk about.
Maybe.
Little. But
as much as I can stomach, I'm already getting gassy. Whew, just Raw and SmackDown.
I think one of the biggest blows and viral videos from the wrestling world that we're getting ready to listen to is none other than from our hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley.
And that problem is that WWE is no longer the place for talent to aspire to. Part of it is because AEW is doing a great job of attracting great talent, proven talent, building other talent, creating storylines, but part of it is a problem of your own making. I think younger talent sees the way that developmental characters are cut or left by the wayside, or in the case of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down and even made a joke of when they debut on the main roster. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If I was an aspiring talent now, big league talent with a major decision to make, I'm not sure that I would trust WWE Creative to do the right thing with my career. You guys did wonders with me back in the day, but that was a different time, different place. If it was today, I'm not sure I would trust the powers to be with my career in their hands. And until that changes, WWE, you've got a problem.
Wow.
Holy shit. Mick Foley basically, by him saying that, it just says a lot.
It speaks volumes, absolutely.
It holds more weight to good God, Ivy.
You weren't there. There was a show, but plug discussion was involved. You weren't there.
No, I was not there and a part of that. What the fuck? I think an overall perspective of Mick making this video, it holds more weight, like Wendy said, than a recently released superstar would carry the weight.
True.
You know, Mick is someone that is highly respected in the wrestling world, you know.
Very.
But I want to get your guys' take as well. Like Wendy, I want to hear your take on this.
I think Mick is definitely right about what he said. And the message coming from him, someone who came from his insane background, because he was in Japan, he was in the Indies, he traveled, he did everything he had to do. He cut his teeth like he did. He was in the WWE. He experienced that world. And he's coming not just as a legend, but as a fan of wrestling too. So it comes from a place of knowledge and a place of love for the business. So it's not just a critique out of the blue. It's not just some asshole speaking out of his ass. It's someone who knows what he's saying. And he's very right. I wholeheartedly agree with what he says. And the question is, will they listen in the E? Will they hear it? Will they listen? And will the proper changes or non-changes be made?
No, there are definitely a lot of changes that do need to be made. Don, where are you standing on this? Is this like a giant kick in the dick or what?
I'm going to give you my take in 1 second, but let's go to the comments first, because we had Brian, and he has said, Mick Foley drops truth bomb. If WWE wants to be pissed at what he said, fuck him.
Pretty much.
Okay. And then of course our Temptress friend who was on last week, thank you so much, shouts to Ivy, said, Mick is just over the bullshit at this point, and you can't blame him.
Absolutely not.
And you know what? I mean, it's hard to argue any of that, so I'm not gonna. I wouldn't. It's almost a kick in the dick, to answer your question. It's like they grazed one of the balls, and sometimes that hurts just as bad. Any man out there knows that if you've had it happen. I have, and it fucking hurts.
Worse.
You know, it's the biggest thing. I want to see somebody call Mick Foley a fanboy, because a lot of what he said, if not all of what he said, I have been saying, or one of us has been saying for at least a month more.
Yeah.
And every time we do, it's, oh, well, you know, the E has blah, 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 or tribal chief, or fuck off fanboy, or whatever. And it's and that's not where Mick Foley's coming from. That's not where I came from when I said it. We have all grown up watching WWE. Okay, all of us. Maybe some of us a little less time because Wendy's a lot younger. Lucky
I've
her.
still like watched. I
But
have
she's
watched
Yeah.
older like
yeah.
reviews and shows and things like that. I have
But
gone retroactively, you know.
we are deep WWE fans, like
Mhm.
decades into this shit. I've been watching it since the 80s. I want to see WWE do well. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they are with the shit that they're doing. And neither is Mick Foley. And Mick Foley loves WWE. He respects the hell out of the people there, out of the powers that be, because they kind of helped make him a worldwide household name. You know, he had been all over the world, but there were a lot of people had no idea who he was till Mankind showed up, which is sad, but it's also true. And they helped his dreams come true. They made him a WWE champion, you know, all this stuff. But at the same time, I don't know if it was. I say it's only partially a kick in the dick because I think it's Mick Foley's way of kind of saying the people you have in charge of talent, in charge of creative, are dropping the ball because the guy that wanted me in WWE, the guy that fought for me, the guy that got me in the door and made me who I am, is now calling AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, they have some other people they have some other people that have replaced good old JR, and you can say what you want about them. Some of their choices, some of their talent has been good, some of it hasn't. But the overall product from WWE, when you think about it, kind of took a nosedive when JR left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think that's more where Mick Foley was coming from. Like, yes, you let this guy go. He helped create everything that you had from your talent, helped with your creative, was amazing on commentary for all those years. You let him go, look at what you've replaced him with, and look at where you are. Maybe now you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say it every time we like start talking about WWE and like I go into it, like I don't want to hate WWE. Like I want to like WWE.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I like just like you guys, I grew up on it. Like I don't want to not like it, but I don't like it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not far off from you. Like I don't watch Raw. I will go back and watch a SmackDown, and most of the time it's pretty good. I'm still watching NXT, but I'm watching it thinking, okay, when are these changes coming? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm dreading when these changes finally kick in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're definitely going to dread that. And so in this clip that Foley had, he talked about AEW or certain established wrestlers now know that there's another option, another viable option out there in AEW. And some of the actual current superstars on the WWE roster has dropped subtle hints throughout the last week and weekend, and that's none other than Kevin Owens
Right.
or Kevin Steen, however you know you guys remember him. He's been posting the Mount Rushmore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
if everyone that knows, or if you don't know, Mount Rushmore was a faction with Kevin Owens, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks in PWG.
Yep.
Well, guess what? They're only missing one in AEW, and he keeps dropping hints. And his contract is coming to an end soon. So with that being said, Dom, do you think KO is going to jump that train and head on over to AEW with the Bucks and Adam? Or you think he's going to stay put?
Man, it's I want to say I want to say that he jumps ship mainly because what the hell are they going to have for him at this point? Like, okay, you had a hell of a series of matches with Roman Reigns. You lost. You've been kind of back and forth between you're helping out Baron Corbin. You're stunning Baron Corbin. You're not really doing much. You're on TV. You're off TV. You know, they might try to give him that, you know, the upgraded Gulak package where they try to throw a title on him to get him to stay like right before his contract comes up, so he'll sign a deal, and then once he signs that deal, they'll be like, okay, bye. But I think Owens is a little too smart for that, so it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up in AEW. And going to your point, like, not only does, like, top talent now have an alternative, but with these changes that they're talking about, like, they want to change their developmental system to the point where they're basically going to shut the door on the indies and the other promotions, and they're going to build their own stars from wherever. Like, they just signed Gable Stevenson, and Rick Steiner's kid is getting ready to debut, and that sort of thing. Like, they're going to bring in their own talent, train them at the Performance Center, and put them in a ring. So now, if you slam the door on indie talent or other promotions talent from WWE, where else do they go?
Yeah.
Because real quick, Wendy, before I let you take over, and it's one of those things where they can find 15, 25, 30 people out on the street to build into their own superstars, but you're probably only going to get maybe 2 that make it. Maybe 2, probably 1. So you're going to have all these people, and you're going to get one person instead of getting someone that's established and trained and knows what they're doing.
And that's part that, it all blends together, because I think that's part of what Mick Foley was talking about when he said, WWE has a problem, because you're shutting the door on these guys, and that is only going to allow companies, whether it be AEW or Impact, established promotions on TV, to bring more talent in, make their shows and their roster stronger, and make them even greater competition to you, which obviously AEW has already done in the past few weeks.
And if you want to talk about, like, shutting out the indie guys, let's look at it monetarily as well. Like, hey, what's up, Mac? Like, it's not just, okay, like, it's, yeah, okay, so you're going to pay less for a dude who's coming in to an entry-level position, let's say, because, he's green. Yeah. But
there's that too.
With these indie guys, though, they come with fans, and fans means money.
Yeah.
So if you're going to say, hey, like, okay, you're popular in the indies and all, but you're not WWE material because of your age, your size, you just don't fit what we're looking for. You don't fit into this box we've created. Well, guess what? Yeah. Those indie fans are going to go where he goes, or where she goes, where they go. And that money, it may not be a lot. It may just be $20, but $20 is $20. And those $20 are going to follow that person. And those $20 are going to start adding up. 20 here, 20 there, et cetera, et cetera.
How about just Adam Cole and Brian Danielson? I'm sorry. I've been programmed alone. A few weeks ago, AEW's ratings were just under 1 million. They went over 1.3 for the first time in their history, because they brought 2 more guys in. 2 more guys equaled 400,000 viewers. And I'm sorry, Minoru Suzuki had something to do with that as well. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that they're able to get these guys and they're able to bring them in, and then if WWE cuts off the rest of this talent, it just means more for them, more for Impact, more for maybe even MLW as far as the indies go, or smaller promotions, because these companies have networks, have built-in fans, have money to play with, and there's going to be no other place for them to go. And I think that's part of what Mick Foley was saying in the video.
Yeah.
Now, sticking with the theme of Mick Foley's video and mismanaged talent, as he brought, not really mismanaged talent, but how they're one way in NXT and then they're a different way on the main roster. Well, there has been a story that was let out about our very own Adam Cole.
Multiple reports
saying that they basically wanted to bring him up to the main roster to be Keith Lee's manager.
Yeah,
that would have been such a waste.
And turn Keith Lee heel.
So, do you blame Adam Cole for leaving to go to a company where he's going to wrestle?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. I mean, they might have offered him $1 million, but they're at the same time, here's $1 million, but we're going to essentially end your wrestling career for a while, maybe for as long as you're here, but here's $1 million. I think he'd rather take less money and be a big name wrestler somewhere and be back with people that he's actually close to,
Yep.
than stand at the edge of a ring and watch people boo Keith Lee, who should not be booed at this point.
How are you?
We've all seen the video.
Into a heel.
We've all seen the video now of his update and what he was going through. Are you really going to make people boo this man right now? You have the perfect real life story to build him up as one of your biggest baby faces, and your decision is let's turn him heel and let's make Adam Cole his manager.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best wrestlers they have, a manager.
Who the undisputed fuck comes up with this shit?
An idiot and an asshole.
Vince McMahon, right? Thank you, Wendy.
I do not blame the man.
I don't either.
I don't blame him for following his fiance, Wendy.
I don't either. You know what? I don't either.
Hard not to.
Yeah, no.
It's really hard, really hard.
I'm sure right now Zelina Vega is backstage with one tear right here, just thinking about Malachi Black.
Oh my God!
Why did I do this?
We'll get to him when we talk about Dynamite, and we'll get to him later on. Put a pin in. We'll circle back. So now's the part of the show where we fall down that rabbit hole just a little bit, and we talk about Raw and SmackDown. So we're gonna tumble down. We're gonna tumble down the rabbit hole like we do. So it is rumored that the next draft will take place at the beginning of next month between Raw and SmackDown, and they are going to reset the brands and start a new season. The two big names that are rumored to be changing shows is Drew McIntyre is rumored to be going to SmackDown, and Edge is rumored to be going to Raw. Do you guys think the draft can help or is going to help what they have going on now? And in a sense of not really going on because it's not really that good. Granted, yes, SmackDown has have its good shows, but do you think this is going to help them or what? Wendy, let's start with you.
As I'm thinking, I'm like,
Oh, sorry. All right, Dom.
Let's do it. No, I got this. I think if they properly shake up and they do like a nice even balance of like the exciting people, the boring people, let's mesh it all together. Get the storylines in a spot where, we build up the boring people to not be so boring. There might be a chance. For me, it's a wait and see kind of thing. I have no hope or expectations. I'm just going to leave it at that. No hope, no expectations for it.
Okay.
That's just dark. Jesus.
It really is. Really, I mean, you are kind of a dark person sometimes.
A little bit. Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time. Just
the dark clouds come in sometimes.
Yeah, they do. Okay, Dom, you were chomping at the bit on this one. You were jumping in. So what do you got?
No problem. And what's going on, Ivan? Everybody check out Circle of Debate. You know I love you guys. And he said, "Preach it, Grandma." So yes.
What I do?
I think that move in particular would be pretty good for both parties in WWE because especially Drew has nothing left to do on Raw. Mm-hmm. They gave him so many rematches with Bobby and now they've got him in some program with Damian Priest, or at least on the outside of it. I can't really tell you if he became the number one contender for the US title or not because Raw puts me to sleep watching the replay. But with as hot as he was, they did everything they could to fan that flame out. Just nope, you're done. So let him go to SmackDown. Let him reignite that feud that he had from Survivor Series last year with the Tribal Chief, and now you've got something. Now with Edge, again he had the main event at Mania against Roman. He lost. He ended up coming back beating Seth at SummerSlam. Okay, cool. I don't think there's much left for him to do there except for maybe have a rematch with Seth. So bring him to Raw. You could see him, going after Bobby's title. And if Bobby Lashley is the super heel that they're making him out to be, Edge would be the perfect super face to put in a ring with him. And unlike Goldberg, I'd like to see him hit a spear on Bobby Lashley. So there's that too. So at least it reinvigorates the shows a little bit. It gives guys that are kind of stuck in limbo something to do. And depending on what moves you make beyond that, it might change a few things, but you still got to be able to put on a decent show around these guys. Like, you can have the talent, you can develop the talent, you can do whatever you want with it. But when you get them on a show and you stick them in these same repetitive programs with the same guy, or you change them completely, and so now somebody that looked like the Undertaker in developmental territory looks like a gimp that used to be in Demolition, you're gonna have these fucking problems regardless. So it's like, I want to believe that the draft will help these guys and help create some new stories and stuff like that, but then my logic kicks in and I'm like, shit, they're going to actually have to create something for these people. Now we have a problem, because Edge is going to be right back in the ring with Randy Orton again.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. I hope this shakeup, like, they're able to shuffle people around a little bit more, and we get more interesting storylines,
I'll come back to that because you're talking and I'm covering you up with comments. I apologize, homegirl.
Isn't it? Brian's.
Yeah, Brian said WWE is causing the same problems that killed the territories. Guys like Hogan, who were in the AWA, or Kerry Von Erich, who was in World Class. When they left, their fans went with them. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying, Brian. Pepsi Phil is here. Yay.
Hey.
What up, Pepsi Phil?
All this WWE talk is giving me indigestion.
Well, it's okay. I'm so glad that you said that you got indigestion from that, so we can move on.
Put a pin. 1 sec. Let me read. The only way the draft would work is if the draftees were competent better writers. You got to get Pepsi Phil in. He works hard on these.
Yes.
Bad booking and awful writing. It's not rocket science. No,
that is very true.
You are absolutely right, Ivy.
Is not.
I'm going to kiss your witchy ass in the chat just like I did on the show. It tasted wonderful, by the way.
So, out of the rabbit hole we climb into the world that was
freedom!
Fucking amazing. We're going to start with AEW All Out and go in a little chronological order. So, with this, we're going to hit a few target points, and we'll just talk a little bit about it. We're not going to get in depth with every single match and do a full.
No, we're going to have fun with it.
So
we're going to have fun with it.
I'm gonna ask you guys. We're going to do our grade on this show, our favorite match, and our favorite moment is what we're going to do for the pay-per-view of All Out. Okay. So Dom, since you have the Psycho scale, why don't you kick us off?
Well, now, to be fair, everyone can use the Psycho scale. I have showed you how this goes. You take every match, you run them down, you go on a 2-point scale. If you love it, you give it a 2. If you hate it, -2. If it's anything in between, you can go in between. You can use fractions. You can do whatever you want. Now, All Out itself could have gotten a possible 22 points. I gave it 18, and basically because I had a fat 0 for Paul White and for Paul White and QT. Absolutely, just 0. I could not give a fuck. I don't know why it's on. I didn't hate it. I just didn't care. I was get this off. I'm done. This is 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes too long. Bye. Yeah. Outside of that, I loved the whole fucking show. The match of the night, maybe the match of the year. Wait.
Oh, we're gonna do them in separate things. So,
I thought we were rattling it all out.
No, and then we're gonna
stay tuned, boys and girls.
Stay tuned. Wendy, what do you give this for a rating? How did you feel about the pay-per-view in a whole and a grade?
Even matches I could not care less about, like the QT Marshall Paul White match, I was still entertained somehow. I don't even know how that was possible. I was still watching the match, and I was just like, that's what you get, plugs. But So for me, overall, this was an A+ show. To be into the matches that I could not care less about, that's a damn good show. I give it a fucking A++, plusy plus plus. You
Yeah,
agree with
yeah.
that?
Apparently, so does Brian. I mean, All Out was the best wrestling show I've ever seen. I had a blast watching it.
Yes.
We all did.
Yep, sure
We
did.
all did.
I fucking I loved it from top to bottom, left to right, all around in a circle. I even loved the chaos that was that friggin' 20-man tag match in the friggin' buy-in. Like, I even enjoyed it, and it was a fucking
That was a
mess.
good show.
And I loved it.
The buy-in, yeah, that 10-man fuckery was just.
For
It was actually good. I thought it was going to be chaos, and it was, but not as much. It was actually good chaos, which was cool.
Yep.
For me, I'm with Wendy. I give it an A+++++. Like, Paul White, like, did we need that match? No. Did we deserve that match? No. It shouldn't have even been on that card. You could have given MJF and Jericho a few more minutes.
Did Dark Elevation deserve that match? No.
I mean, they could have gave Darby and Punk an extra 5 minutes.
And just for clarification's sake, restaurant quality eye candy is what it was.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Oh, Pepsi Phil, I love you. I hope I say this right. Paul White and QT were in a amuse-bouche palate cleanser midway through the event. They were like second to last though, bro. Like Punk and Darby, and then Paul White versus Plugs. What the fuck?
It was.
And then main event.
It was. I think someone in the chat in the thread said it was like, they did it to cool the crowd down, so when they get the big surprises, they get a bigger pop because everyone's more excited because they're all like, all right, well, it's time to go.
I guess, but I don't need to be cooled down. I'm like, let's keep the show going. Yeah.
I'm definitely with you on that.
Especially that night, I was just fucking amped, like from the start all the way through.
I couldn't even sleep afterwards.
I couldn't either. You and I were messaging after the show till like 1, 2 in the morning. Like, oh my god, I know.
It was fucking crazy.
Amazing.
Wendy,
Bruce.
Match of the night for you. What is? I really hope we all three come up with something different because then we can talk about more matches.
But honestly, there's only one answer.
I literally jumped out of my seat. I came this close to crying. I was so hyped when it happened. That tag title match with the Lucha Bros winning it. Oh my god! It was amazing. Yes. Entirely, I lost my mind. So for me, match of the night, that title match.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yes. And not just because I'm adopted brown. That shit was fucking gold.
It was. It was. Dom, what do you got?
Okay, great. Sorry. I'm just.
What was Ivy saying?
Let's see. Great show for me, and I think it's because with AEW, we get to see talent actually show us their true potential. When performers are given more freedom, they tend to perform better.
You could tell everyone was having fun.
Ding!
Everyone
was Vinny?
having a fun time that night.
Vinny, look at me real quick. Vinny, you right here. Are you watching? You could take notes from a witch. It's not even us anymore. Now it's the chat. Yeah, right, even Dom. Brian says, "Oh, yeah, that makes three." Oh my god, the Lucha Bros winning that match and becoming tag champs in a fucking war. A war that included thumbtack-laden Jordans, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Brandon Cutler finally did something that was epic. He threw that bag into the cage. He earned his spot on the roster that night for throwing that bag all the way from the floor into the cage. Yep. It's got just like the levels of brutality, the disrespect with the tearing of the masks and the Jordans and just all of it. The Phoenix flying from the top of the cage, like Lucha Destroyer from the top rope. Oh oh, I want to be mad because that's Petey Williams' move, but at the same time, I feel like Penta perfected it, so I can't be.
Legitimately beautiful.
Like, if anybody should be allowed to keep using the Destroyer, it is Penta. End of list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, for me, best match of the night for me, my honorable mention is Miro and Eddie, because
Yeah.
god damn,
Yeah.
that was
Oh, that was beautiful.
but
That was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Such a great match.
yes. For
Miro's
me,
chest. Oh god, he looked like
Oh my God,
Dragunov
that's
after
what
Walter got done with him.
Damn.
yeah.
Just blistered. Just even I'm sitting there like my titties.
I was like, oof.
Honestly, for me, match of the night, I've got to go with Punk and Darby, because it really was. It was a great fucking wrestling match. It wasn't spot fucking high spot filled match or nothing like.
Not at
it
all.
was a wrestling match, and it was
honestly
fucking awesome.
I think somebody here brought it to my attention, or it might have been Circle of Debate because I was on there too. But they had like the tribute beginning, like from Bret Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid, where they started with the headlock.
Oh
And
yeah.
They did and Darby did like the hip lock takeover, and then Punk got that look. That was Bret Hart in Punk's spot.
Good, clean match.
Yeah.
Good clean match.
It was fucking amazing.
Since I brought the man up, I have to point something out. Our very own grandma despises the one we call CM Punk, but as she flips off her screen, but
I'll just cover her with a comment again. There we go.
Okay.
Casalito, what's up, homeboy?
but Wendy, I think you said something in the thread, and it was a very positive, blatant comment about CM Punk. What
He's got
was
a
it?
fart gun.
That's how I feel about it.
My son has one of those.
No, I want the TRWT world to know that Grandma Wendy does have a heart towards CM Punk. What was that comment?
You're giving me too much credit. I do not have a heart towards CM Punk. You are dead ass wrong, sir. What I did say though was that as much as I dislike him, as much as I fucking hate the guy, I'm glad he's happy. Because I'm a firm believer that we should all be somewhere where we're happy. And we all deserve it. We all deserve to feel joy, to feel somewhere where we feel like we're appreciated and valued and listened to. And you know what? He's got it. He's got that at AEW. So good for him. He can still eat a dick, and he can still an asshole, and then all for you. But I'm happy that he's happy.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I mean, she still kind of has a heart.
Now we move on.
Hang on, let's see here. What we got for comment? Don't look, Wendy. I have to give Punk credit. He did better than I expected, and having been away from the business for so long. By no means is he my favorite, but I give him credit where it's due, and he did well. Yeah, I mean that match was almost 20 fucking minutes. His debut was 20 fucking minutes.
And the match did not look like either opponent carried the other. They both pulled their own weight, and they put on a good show. And they had
it was so interesting because it was technical for a while, and for a while it looked like Punk was working heel, and then they switched, and they gave you like this ring psychology mind fuck, and then Darby's doing his crazy shit for a while, and then he toned down again. It just felt like it went in stages and waves, and you were just like, I was just kind of like enamored. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, go on. But I give him a lot of credit. He did a tremendous job in a comeback match after 7 years. I mean, the closest thing you can really compare this to would be like Edge coming back against Randy Orton at that pandemic WrestleMania. And that match was longer, but there were also a lot of spots where guys were just laid out, probably because Edge was gassed.
Yeah.
And when you compare the two matches, you tend to think this is a better one. I mean, I know they were a little different with, last man standing and, just a regular match, but this one was probably better. And I love Edge, no disrespect to him. I'm glad they're both back, but this match was better. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I made a face because I'm watching SmackDown. With Bianca and Becky contract signing, and Becky took the contract and tried to throw it at Bianca, but she caught it, and she was like, "Really, Becky? Really?
Really, bitch?
Like,
Really?" The wise words of Grandma Wendy. He can still eat a dick.
You can't.
Wow.
See, I feel like at worst, Ivy and Wendy should be in like the same coven. They might be soulmates, but they should be at least in the same coven of witches, just around the same pot.
So to finish up our trio of questions for the AEW All Out pay-per-view, Wendy, what was your top moment of the show?
I'm torn between two, but I'm gonna go with this one. The Suzuki Moxley fist fight. That was
that was amazing.
That
might have been better than the match on Dynamite. Can I be real for a minute?
Absolutely. It got my hopes up for the match, but the match kind of, I don't know, gave me hope that we might see more.
I'm hoping
that was a little apprehensive.
Especially with the reports that Minoru is the free agent now. Please sign him, Tony. Please. We need this again. I'm not saying like G1. No 45-minute war. But you gave this guy 7 minutes and then Mox got to prance around his hometown crowd for 3. You even cut off his music before everybody was going to sing. That's disrespectful. That man is a legend. He will hurt you.
Literally hurt you.
See, I'll bash AEW too, guys. Okay?
Yeah.
If they deserve it, they get it. That's how the psycho rolls. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
All right, Dom, what was your top moment of All Out?
Oh, man. Next to the Lucha Bros, it would have to be the debut moments. Like, Adam Cole's was probably better just because I had said that I was hoping he'd come in and get involved in the Bullet Club Civil War, which I guess he is, but I thought he was going to be on the other side of things since they killed him. Turns out,
I thought too.
Swerve! I'm with the Elite again, guys. Fuck y'all. I was like, wow.
But you know what? It was the most perfect way to do it for Bryan Danielson to debut.
No, that's what I was going to say. And then that music, like it started out, the usual, your typical Daniel Bryan, whatever they call that song, and then all of a sudden, like the hip hop mashup kicked in, and I was just like, oh my god, is the American Dragon coming out to a club banger? What the fuck is that? And he looks like a vegan samurai, like he's ready to cut you.
Yeah.
He said, fuck you, Drew, and your Claymore. I have a top knot and a katana. Shing! It's made of balsa wood.
But the best part about Adam Cole coming out, it literally made me think that, okay, Bryan Danielson isn't going to debut. He was...
Yeah.
It made me at least think that, okay.
No, me too, at least for a minute.
He must be showing up on Dynamite then. And then
at least for a minute, yeah. I thought maybe Dynamite, or maybe they were going to hold it till the show at Arthur Ashe or something like that, because like you're going to have Cole and Bryan debut in a matter of minutes. That would be insane. But that's exactly how that shit happened, and I fucking lost my mind. Oh my god! I'm standing on this couch going, yes.
Jose was half out of it, and as soon as he heard the first notes of Danielson's song, he was like, "Oh shit!" Like he just
no. Oh, and Pepsi Phil just hit on something because he said, "Can we get a shout out to Britt for shadowing Adam Cole with the Pittsburgh Sunrise?"
Yes.
Not only that, Pepsi Phil. If you watch Takeover 36, Adam Cole put Kyle O'Reilly in a fucking lockjaw.
Yes, in the
So
lockjaw.
there was your first Easter egg right there. And then
Uh-huh.
Britt doing that shit was like, oh, he's coming.
Wait a minute.
If he practiced it a little more, he could have gotten the lock part down a little better. But A
Well,
for effort, baby. A for effort.
Britt will be able to roll around the ring with him now and work with him because he's in the same company. So he'll sharpen his skills.
The first Easter egg was New Year's Eve 2019 when when there was pictures of Adam Cole at the AEW New Year's Eve party.
Well, yeah,
That was the first Easter egg.
He's backstage, during these tapings and stuff all the time. So you didn't really think much of that. But when they started using each other's moves in the ring, you're like, wait a minute.
Yes.
And we brought it up on the show that they kind of give you Easter eggs through clothing, and MJF was kind of rocking some Flair-esque tights that night.
Oh yeah,
and boots, if you noticed, and that was also like, ooh.
Can we give a shout out to their seamstress team, like their sewing team and Miss Sandra and the gang, because they put together some amazing gear. I mean, that robe MJF came out in, for once,
every robe.
Fucking legit. Usually,
not every robe, homie. Not every robe.
That pink one, it looks
the
like
pink one that looks like his grandmother's moo.
Yeah, that's just badass, man. What do you guys don't even know what you're talking about?
Sure.
Says the MJF mark.
You keep telling yourself that, baby.
It was a conspiracy.
Notice how the non-MJF marks are like, yeah, that's his grandma's moo, and he's like, no, that shit was fire.
It was.
That shit should have been on fire.
God damn.
You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in. That Bryan Danielson debut was the best. As loud as they were, imagine that crowd in the fucking United Center, which is a much bigger arena. Yeah, we would have got the punk pop. We almost did. We almost did for both of them, which was insane. I love Adam Cole's new music. It sounds more like the Undisputed Era, which sounds a lot like Rage Against the Machine. I know everybody's been saying it for a week, so I'm going to agree. I think those debuts just ended the night so epically, like so perfectly for that show, because everything was just, this is amazing. But then you get to the end, you're like, this is the most amazing point of it all. Like
Dom, pull up Ivy's last comment.
Oh, I got you. Let's see. One thing I will say in regards to the recent debuts, they're getting a little too predictable. Multiple debuts in one night will die out quick. They should tone back a little, in my opinion. Yeah, because the question remains, like, how do they top this now?
But here's the thing, like the multiple debuts, yes, that's not gonna happen a lot.
This was like a perfect storm, really.
The debuts being predictable, like they're not denying anything and they're not agreeing to anything, but like I knew Ruby Soho was going to be in that friggin' casino battle royale.
Yeah, we all knew that one.
I still lost my shit.
God, we haven't even talked about Ruby. Thank you for bringing her up. I can't believe I forgot about her.
I still lost my shit. We
got Ruby to debut, and we got Rancid to play her out. And what about Lucha Bros with the rap group doing the live play? Oh, and the Aztec
with the headgear
and robes.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Their group actually did better than the lead guitar player from Fozzy. He somehow fucked up playing Judas, and he's the lead guitarist from Fozzy. How does that happen?
That's your own song.
Like, isn't that your shit? Aren't you playing that on tour this month? Shouldn't you know it by now?
Just fine.
No, but I see where she's coming from. This was a perfect storm where, like, Adam Cole became available, so they ran with it, and they got him ready, and they got him out there on short notice. Brian was always the way they were going that night, and they just happened to get him and throw him in. And they also happened to have Minoru Suzuki come in, as a free agent to kind of tease the whole thing with Moxley. But, like, this is going to be very hard. Like, that bar is high now when it comes to pay-per-views for them to top. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get at Full Gear in November and going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Lead guitarist from Fozzy. You just made the list.
so since we had all of that amazingness that was all out, now we're gonna roll smooth transition into Dynamite that happened this past Wednesday.
I was gonna say, Brucey, should we discuss this comic?
No. He won that fucking match. The ref didn't. He won that match. It was a fucking conspiracy, Brian. Don't make me come at you like an angry spider monkey.
Okay, typically, this is the moment where I would tell Brucey,
Stop it. Get some help.
but in this case, I agree with you completely.
Goddamn right.
How many times have we seen this happen in a match, and how many times after the fact have you heard the ref's decision is final?
Yeah.
But yet somehow, some way, MJF gets the win, Jericho's career is over, and here comes another ref to try to tell Ref Aubrey what to do, which always works so well. You know how when Jericho tries to tell her and shoves her, doesn't that work out well for him?
Oh, yeah.
And next thing you know, we're restarting the match, and Jericho's got him in the walls, and MJF is crawling for the ropes, pulls him back, and I'm done. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So as much as you want to call it a Bruce-spiracy, he's not wrong on this one, guys. Every now and then, the tinfoil hat wearers or the Burberry scarf wearers get one right.
I don't like your fucking attitude right now.
I'm agreeing with you, though, so you better.
Fine.
So, as we roll into Dynamite, let's each just pick a segment from the show that we want to talk about or that we enjoyed or we thought. And since we put a pin in it at the top of the show, I'm going to pull that pin out. And I'm going to talk about how Malachi Black kicked Dustin Rhodes' head off.
Sorta. It was more of the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know. So he's basically run through the entire Nightmare family. And yes, he was Philippe. Fuck yeah, you guys are all my
Pepsi Phil, we are with you. I don't know about Grandma,
Yes.
but the top of this screen right here, we are with you.
Yes. So with Malachi Black, like I've watched everything he's done since he's been back wrestling and in AEW. And I shake my head and I ask why. Why did WWE let this gold mine go? Because this dude is a friggin' genius and is amazing. Like, I knew he could go. I knew he could work. But, like, the story that he's telling right now is probably better than anything WWE ever would have thought of doing with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of what he was beginning in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
had he stayed, it would not have gone the way it has gone in AEW. And that goes back to something Ivy was saying, like, give these talents more creative freedom and they will perform better. And I know the match with Dustin was a little rough, but at the same time, it was still a great match.
Yeah.
Dustin can still go, and we know he's not afraid to get dark.
Yeah.
And so this was the perfect matchup. I thought they should have probably had this first, but they were too busy trying to, get Cody off TV and make Black get super heat, which mission accomplished.
Uh-huh.
The stuff in between with like Brock and Lee Johnson or whatever, like you could have skipped that shit.
But
it was nice to see somebody get squashed and get their fucking head kicked in, but
it's
like,
not
okay.
even those. If you actually look at the bigger picture of the story, those two matches were very important to the story of Malachi Black running through the entire Nightmare family. So those matches, as they seem like, okay, these are pointless, they're stupid, they're actually a big part of the story, telling the story.
That's true. That's true. All right, Brian has a Mr. Black is a bad man. Brandy Rhodes is lucky she isn't in the crosshairs, considering what she has done to everyone else in the Nightmare family.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
agreed.
What? But isn't JR an honorary member of the Nightmare family? I feel like he could be. Fuck that.
Jesus.
The man comes up with fire every time he hits send.
That was
Every time.
see.
I love this man.
Okay, Dom, what is the one moment, segment, match that you want to bring up and talk about from AEW Dynamite this week?
I kind of want to do a collective, but it's all based on the same person.
Okay.
I love Punk cutting the promo and shouting out Aunt Linda in the crowd as far as Linda Pillman.
Yes.
And then on the flip side, I loved MJF coming out and talking shit on the Pillman family.
Wrestling God.
And then here comes Junior in Brian Pillman's Bengals jersey, by the way, in his father's Bengals jersey. And then we had something that might cause a slight civil war on this show, because there was definite tension between MJF and Wardlow. And for a minute there, it didn't look like Wardlow was going to save him. He just backed off and let Pillman kick his ass.
His back turned entirely.
Yeah. Well, when you call somebody's mom,
I don't know what you're talking about.
when you call somebody's mom Methany, at that point, it's like, bro, you get your ass beat. I don't give a fuck.
Like, I don't know.
Too far.
Even I wanted to punch MJF at that point.
But like for me, moms are like off limits.
Yes.
I'm like, my mother's a saint, and I will
that's fact.
anybody who says a single bad word about that woman. So
I will end anybody that says something about our mom, the woman that bought me this shirt, by the way. Thank you, Mom.
So for me, for them to take it there, even though she may not have been the best of moms, in my book, that was too far.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
I mean, for MJF, it's a Wednesday, but for everybody else, it's too far.
Yep.
And to see Wardlow just turn his back for a while, let MJF get his ass beat, and then come in and kind of pull him apart, and then MJF is behind him talking shit, so Wardlow steps away again.
Yeah,
Lets him start getting his ass beat, and then German suplexes Pillman Jr. from behind.
Hey, Ref Amy's here.
Ref Amy is in the building. Hey!
Amy.
All our guests are back.
If I was BPJ Pillman Jr., I would forget for a second that this is a fucking show, and I would get a few good stiff hits in. Like, say that again about my mother, bitch. Say it again.
Like a couple little headlock short jabs.
I'd knock the tooth out at least.
Right. Right. But that promo that Pillman Jr. cut was probably the best promo he's had. Well, in AEW definitely, but maybe in wrestling, period. And I love that they're taking like kind of the MLW angle and switching it for AEW. I think that's beautiful too, because these two kind of feuded over there. Now they're working their way in over here, and thank God it's not Jericho again, because that's what I was afraid of when he won. Like, oh no, we're getting another one, not another one. Fuck.
That's all done. That's over with.
Please be done. We don't need WWE bullshit in AEW where we just keep recycling the same match over and over and over.
Right? Okay, Wendy. We're yes.
Pinks at TNT wet their pants when he's on the mic. Explain your boy. There's no need. I hate to speak for high class, but there's no need. They want him to go out there and get heat,
Wrestling
man.
God.
Those ratings go over 1 million every time.
Every time they hit over 1 million when he's on the screen.
And I hate
every
it.
time.
And I hate it. For me, it was a little nugget. It wasn't even a big, huge like time suck or oh bless you, baby. It wasn't a huge time suck kind of thing. It was the Eddie Miro promos.
Okay.
It leaves me wondering, what's it going to lead to? Where are we going to go with this? What's going to happen?
Getting this again.
We're going to get a good rivalry going on? Like, what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
Getting this again, and it's going to be great.
Oh,
it was already great once.
It's going to be great again.
Imagine what Eddie can do with Miro and telling a story over a longer time. Like, they put this together like 2-3 weeks before All Out.
Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, this was maybe the first time that I saw Eddie in AEW work more like he did all over the world, whether it be Japan, Chikara, wherever, with the quick chops and the
Oh, yeah.
and more movement and that kind of stuff. And I really fucking loved it.
Mhm.
So if they're gonna let him do that again and get into another war with Miro, and maybe somewhere down the line include CJ, because it's got to be coming. He mentions her in every one of his fucking promos, so it's coming somewhere.
Because he was blessed with a hot wife.
Who's flexible?
Yeah.
Don't leave that part out. That part is critical.
And there's the
Okay,
reason he has to ice his nuts.
we've all been blessed with decent wives. Not all of them are flexible. That's what makes him lucky.
I was not blessed with a wife. But I was blessed with an oddly agile husband. We won't get into it. We don't need to get into it.
He's definitely good at letting kids climb him like a furry mountain. I can attest to that from experience.
So
Sorry, Jose.
Since we've hit on, what we really wanted to talk about, what do we got? That's horrible.
PWI top 10 is next on my list.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. I'm just catching up. Exactly
what we're doing.
That is the best shirt ever, by the way, Pepsi Phil. I need me one of those. I will have one of those.
So recently,
the same match we've seen over and over and over again in a world where WWE runs rampant. One man,
done that long enough.
The American Nightmare of podcasting is here to save us all.
So before we wrap this amazing show up that we have going on here,
right,
we have to talk about the PWI top 10 because the PWI 500 just came out. I have the top 10 right here. I am going to read them from 10 all the way to 1. Yes, it's just because I can, and that's what I want to do. Number 10, Rich Swann.
He can eat it.
I don't even
Hold on.
I don't even know how to say some of these names.
Put a gassy pin in that. Shingo Takagi.
Shingo Takagi, yes. Number 9.
Number 9.
Finn Balor, number 8. Will Ospreay, number 7. Number 6, Jon Moxley. Number 5, Kota Ibushi. Number 4, Drew McIntyre. Number 3, Bobby Lashley.
Almighty.
Number 2, Roman Reigns.
Oh, I hit the wrong one, or did I?
And number 1 overall, the best wrestler in the fucking world, by God, Kenny Omega is number 1.
Fuck yeah. All that hate on social media, all those fanboys spitting their bullshit, and guess who's ahead of the tribal chief?
Yep.
Wendy.
Yes.
Wendy, I'm going to ask you, Dom, I'm going to ask you the same question as well. I need you to pick 2 wrestlers off of this top 10 list and replace them. Dom, you can think about yours as well. Take 2 off to replace them with 2 other people.
Are we each taking 1, or do we both have to take 2?
No, you each get to take 2, and your list can be. You can have the same one as her. She can have the same one as you.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, the first one that comes off the list for me, and it's nothing personal, but I don't know why he's there, is Rich Swann. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I would take him off, and I would probably put Walter in like immediately.
Okay.
Or I might take, I might move Takagi down and put Walter at 9. I mean, he's never had a bad match. He had a match of the year candidate in this almost two of them in this time frame that PWI goes by, and somehow Rich Swann got on it because he lost the Impact title to Kenny Omega? Like, is Kenny that good at number one that Rich Swann automatically gets to be top 10 because Kenny took the title from him? Oh shit, there goes Bruce.
Lost him.
Let's hope he comes
Hope he's
back.
coming back.
But I don't get that one.
How is Dirty Doc Gallows even lower? What the fuck?
Let's focus on the top 10 here.
Dirty Doc is down in like 180 something. 178.
I mean, I guess it feels like a good spot for him, be one half of a tag team and all.
You only say that because he's dirty.
Well, yeah, that and he's a dirty son of a bitch, but
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Brucey. There he is.
Welcome back, Bruce.
I believe he's here.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I'm here. Dom, who was your second one? Because I didn't get to hear
I didn't get to the second one yet. I was just Wendy brought up something about Dirty Doc Gallows, so I was filling time a little bit. Man, the second one is tough because I'm going through the top 10 in my head, and I'm like, yeah, these guys, yeah.
I want to make that tough decision.
I don't know. I might have to take Takagi out just because I think like Kota Ibushi obviously had a bigger year, and Takagi's big part of the year was taking the belt from Ibushi. And I'll be honest, I might stick. I might stick Kevin Owens in there, to be honest with you. Just going off the time frame and all the matches he had in that period that PWI counts, including the series with Roman Reigns. I know he didn't win a lot of titles, but he had a lot of amazing fucking matches.
Okay.
And that's got to count for something. Oh, Ref Amy actually chimed in. She said, take Finn and Swan off, put Walter and Cody in. That's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. I can't argue that.
Okay.
I love Finn, but yeah. I mean, Walter had an amazing year, and Cody wasn't too shabby in that time frame either. Two-time TNT champion in that time frame.
Yeah.
Among other things.
All right, Wendy, what do you got for me?
So I'm definitely dropping Rich Swann, no questions asked.
And you're putting Moose in, right? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God!
Of course, duh.
I'm gonna
Moose.
Okay, all right.
Moose.
Get out serious though.
Moose.
I'm dropping 9 and 10, and I'm moving up Walter and MJF. Undecided which positions though, because for as much of a shit ass as MJF is, he does some amazing promos, except for pushing the mom too far, and he's had some amazing matches. Like, yeah, he's gotten a lot of dirty ass wins, but he's a fucking heel. Of course, he's gonna have dirty wins.
A true heel.
I would probably
through and through.
I would probably put Walter at 9 and MJF at 10 in that scenario.
That's what I would do. That's my list.
And it was so hard for me not to put Nick Aldis in that top 10 just because of the fact that he lost his title recently, but it took 1,044 days, and I don't know how many defenses to do it. How is that man not top 10?
Okay, here we go. I totally agree with both of you. Rich Swann's ass
gone.
Off the list.
Boop.
Gone.
Boop.
He gone.
See you later. Walter is definitely my 10 spot. Now, we are going to take Finn Balor out, and then we're going to take one and bump everybody down a spot, and we're going to put MJF at number 1. Yep. What?
Dude, I got to hit it again, guys.
Stop it. Get some help.
Did I say something? What did I say?
You know what you said.
What did I say?
You know what you said when you said it. Don't even try.
Are you guys mad at me right now? Are you
No,
disappointed
not at
in what
all. No,
Are you actually disappointed in what I said? Did you not
no,
listen?
not at all.
I may have expected it way too much. This feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy because I just knew you were gonna do it, and then you did it, and it's like, yep,
There it is. Boo this man.
there
Boo
it is.
him.
Wendy, I figure, we all know who's debuting in AEW, and they still go crazy. So you guys knew what I was going to say. I was expecting you guys to be like, "Bravo, bravo!"
Yeah.
On behalf of Ref Amy, I got to give you this. I had to. It's in the chat. She's Ref Amy. We love her.
Okay.
It's Thick Mama Ref. We love her.
I somehow didn't realize Rich Swann is not on my dick punch list, so I had to update that.
Yeah. How is he not?
I'm gonna send him to Ivy to put on the hex list.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
On that note,
Sorry, Bruce. I love you, but just take the win. But bruh, number one, kind of greedy.
Hell no. Hell
Very.
no. He's
That's
a
thirsty.
wrestling god. Okay, so before we close down shop and we call this another amazing show, Wendy, anything to add to this week in wrestling before we go?
I mean, overall, it's been a damn good week for wrestling, especially for the fans. Like we've had some pretty massive highs. It's been hard to come down from it. I mean, even tonight's SDL show has been good. I've been semi watching it, so it's been a great fucking week for wrestling.
Yes.
My 2 cents right there.
True.
Boop.
True.
Dom, anything you want to add to the week in wrestling?
I gotta do this because I don't know if Wendy's aware of it, and I know she's a Lucha Underground fan like I am. So let me ask you, Grandma Wendy, what if I told you that in the near future there would be an invasion of what was the temple in a wrestling promotion? What if I told you the man booking matches for this wrestling promotion is the man formerly known as Dario Cueto? MLW Fusion Alpha is debuting on the 22nd, and they are pushing this invasion angle from Azteca Underground into MLW, and they are saying, will the league fall?
Ooh, what?
I am so ready for this.
Making a note in my notebook. You said
unfucking believable. So I know we don't talk about them very much, but I do watch them and I do love them. So
we need to start talking about them.
We need to. Well, they've been back and forth. Like they disappeared for a few months, came back, they dropped Battle Riot, and then they're gone until September 22nd, Fusion Alpha, and then October Fightland is gonna be taking place at the 2300 Arena, aka the Bingo Hall, and so they'll be coming back and hopefully in full force.
Is it going to be on
fall.
the YouTubes or?
Yeah, YouTube.
Alpha will be on the YouTubes. I'm not sure when or where Fightland will be. I know when it's going to be, and you can get tickets for it, but I don't know when they're going to actually show it and where yet. It's kind of like Battle Riot, where they had the event, but they didn't show the event until a few weeks later.
Okay.
So But September 22nd, Fusion Alpha is going to debut, and I am extremely excited for that, for what I had just said. And plus, seeing these commercials for the new Matrix movie just made me want to say, what if I told you? Yeah, you haven't seen the trailer for the new Matrix Matrix Revolution? Oh, you got to see that shit, homie.
We need to watch this.
You got to see that shit.
Yes.
If I could.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes.
It's on YouTube. Yes, it's pretty much everywhere now. Go see it.
Deal?
It's the real deal trailer. Like it's the legit trailer. Yes.
Is this going to redeem themselves from number 3?
I hope so.
Yes.
I really do because it looks so good. They only give you a little bit in the trailer, but what they give you is fucking great.
It's oh my god.
That was an unintentional final thought, but yeah, if you haven't seen the trailer, you got to go see the trailer. Like as soon as we get off, I put it on now, but they'll kick us off of YouTube, so I can't do that.
It's in our messenger chat.
Wendy put it in the group chat. We will. If I have to, I'll share it to this when we get off.
No. We're gonna close up
Yes,
shop
Brian.
here.
Yes. Everybody that doesn't know, The Matrix will be back. There's a
Yes.
trailer online. Look it up. I think it's The Matrix. What is it? Revolution? Evolution? Something like that.
Resurrections.
Resurrections.
The Matrix
I knew it was something. I have wrestling on the brain. Sorry. The Matrix Resurrection
There it
is coming out
that way.
in theaters shortly. The trailer is out. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's one of my favorite movies up till the third one, and the new one looks amazing. So check out the trailer. Thank me later.
Well, with that being said, I have to say thank you guys for letting me host. It's been fun. It's been an amazing ride. I love this.
It's been a lot easier for me tonight. I'll tell you that.
I love hosting. It's fun. I try to have as much fun as I can. And with that being said, check out our social medias. You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. That you can find our group, which is where we have our group titles, we have our discussion threads, and we just have all out fun.
It's where the psycho reigns supreme.
What happened at all out?
We'll I still got a couple titles. I still do.
We'll put a pin in that.
Hey, Kenny's still a belt collector, and he lost one. So am I.
So you can also find our podcast page, which is also Top Rope Wrestling Talk, which is where we drop our clips and our shows and do all our weekly updates. The page is specifically for the show.
It's like The Office.
For the show. Yeah, it's The Office for the show.
And the community group is where we kick it.
Yeah, that's the break room.
Yeah.
And you can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We're on there. Dom's on there. We all get on there every once in a while, but Dom dominates. Dom dominates the Twitter machine.
I'm all the vowels, and these guys are sometimes Y.
Why?
Sometimes. Yes. Then you can also find us on Instagram. Dom picks out the stupidest names in the world.
I don't fucking think so. Don't you put that evil on me, high class.
It's at top_rope_wrestling_talk. And for everyone that watched us, you can find all of that stuff on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Wendy, dear friend, please tell the people in YouTube land where they can find the audio podcast.
You can find us on anchor.fm/TRWT. From there, you can find us wherever podcasts are distributed. So you can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on iHeartRadio. You might have to do some searching around, but you can find us everywhere. So wherever you listen to your podcast, that's where we're at, son.
Yep. And you can also find us on the WrestlingIndex.com.
Yes, we're on the Wrestling Index.
There's thousands of podcasts there, including us, which is very dope. Yep. And when it is up, we air on the Wrestling Index radio network now. I haven't gotten the schedule for this week, but when I do, I will pass it along on our social media. So be sure to follow those if you haven't.
Yep.
And last, Bruce.
I was gonna say, tell us where we can find our merch. Tell us where we can find merch.
If you would like beautiful merch like this here, with this wonderful elite logo and in t-shirt form, or many others like coffee mugs, beach towels, notebooks, stickers, magnets, shower curtains, literally a notebook, literally all of this shit and more. We even have. This logo is what we use for the inspired slip-on shoe. It's the same colors and everything. It's dope. You got to see it. And you can see it at trwtmerch.threadless.com. Yes. You will also see our MLW tribute. You will also see our TRWT3 logo there, which is, of course, the three of our three beautiful faces and a nice little logo above it, which you can get, again, on shirts, on beach towels, on shower curtains. I didn't do bath mats because ain't nobody walking on us. Fuck that. But you can get tumblers. You can get everything under the sun.
Yeah.
Go to trwtmerch.threadless.com to see for yourself. order your merch. We even have international shipping now, which was a big problem because we have like guys like PETA and other fans in the UK. We have my brother Felipe that I finally got to meet thanks to Wendy in Chile with Gonzalito, who was here earlier, and they were all saying, I want merch. How do we get it? And we had no way of sending it. Like, we couldn't afford to send you this stuff. Now we can, thanks to threadless.com. So
Threadless.
spread our merch across the world and show everyone you love our podcast and give us a little money in the process. That would be amazing.
Right? Well, with that being said, Wendy?
Yes, sir. Stay
you know
fresh,
what to
cheese
say.
bags.
Yes. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend, which finally doesn't have a major pay-per-view. Enjoy Rampage shortly. Enjoy wrestling in general. If it's not your cup of tea, then fuck it. Let somebody else drink it.
Yep.
Yeah. Deuces, bitches.
Laters.
Peace.
Boop. Mwah.
Why won't you leave? I want you to leave. Go away. Bye, guys.
Fuck off,
See you
y'all.
soon. Bye.